Esport ekranlarına hoş geldiniz. Bu hafta çok özel bir konuğumuz var. İstanbul'da bildiğiniz gibi EuroLeague ile ilgili çok önemli bir toplantı yapıldı ve EuroLeague'in geleceğiyle ilgili önemli kararlar alındı. Bu kararları ilk ağızdan EuroLeague CEO'su Paulius Motiejūnas'tan alacağız. Mr. Motiejunas, welcome to Istanbul.
Thank you.
I know it's a crazy week for you, for all the clubs deciding the future of the EuroLeague for Maccabi. And if possible, let's begin with the process of the decision of Maccabi Tel Aviv's future. You held a meeting right here in this hotel. How was the meeting like?
Everything's okay. I think the key point is that all the clubs are aligned, that we want the competition to go, and this is obviously what the league management wants to do and to persuade. So at the end, we find a way out. Maccabi continues to play, so I would value it as a very successful meeting.
Was it like a hard decision to make because you got all the shareholders from different part of the Europe, different ideas, of course. Can you tell us more about the decision-making process?
The decision-making process, it's easy because everybody has to be aligned. But again, the issue is really difficult because, like you said, in each country they have different realities, they have different circumstances. But again, at the end, everybody came together. Maccabi came with a proposal to have a neutral place in Serbia, and everybody approved to try it out. Now we as a league get into it, work on the transportation, hotels, security, all these issues to make it safe and go according to the plan to get it under control. And again, the most positive thing is that the games continue to happen and Maccabi continues to play.
And how was the approach with Partizan and Belgrade? Is Partizan involving in this situation? Because the president made a statement right after the things happened in the Israel and Palestine, of course. What was the approach of Serbia?
I know that municipality is involved, so I'm pretty sure the letter from the club helped open the doors. There were other options, obviously. Different countries said that they are willing to help, but Maccabi was in talks, and they found this as a best option. So again, I'm really thankful to the clubs and especially to the municipality and the country to show interest and to take in Maccabi for this temporal season. Let's say now I think it's difficult to talk about the full season, but at least for these upcoming games, Maccabi has a home where they can play. So I'm really thankful for the Serbian government and Belgrade in particular.
Are they going to be there always? Because there were some talks about they were in the Cyprus also to train and practice, or they're going to be in Serbia always?
Again, it depends on what they do. But I wish I would say it's going to be like this for the rest of the season. But because of this unstable situation, we will take it step by step and continue to monitor the situation.
So it will be a step-by-step thing, if things got heated or there was a peace going on in there, so the situation may change.
Obviously. I mean, let's all hope for peace. This is what we all want. And if it's safe to get back to Tel Aviv, this is what will happen. If something unfortunately goes the other way, again, we will sit down and reevaluate the situation. There's no way we can solve the situation for the full season because of uncertainty. So we will continue to monitor it, control it, both league and the club, help the club, and let's hope we can finish the season.
And Mr. Motiejunas, of course, there is a cost for playing there, staying there. How it's going to be? The cost will be, I don't know, shared by the club or EuroLeague, and of course the security measures is very important also.
Now, of course, it mostly goes to the club because first they lose the ticket sales for the home arena. All the season ticket holders are also disappointed, but it mostly goes to the club, obviously, both security and the arena and everything, because that's going to be the home arena. So it's unfortunate.
They will sell the tickets and get the revenues of it.
Yes. Of course, it's unfortunate situation, but they said they're willing to take the expenses and do it.
I'm wondering something about CSKA. How was their approach? Because they were I can't say similar, but some kind of similarities between these two things. I don't know. But how was their approach during this decision-making process?
Again, firstly, we value the situations completely differently. And again, we continue to monitor what in each country what the government is saying. But we think with Russian situation, it was a bit different because the governments were involved and there was higher risk. In this case, it's not so far, and we hope it stays this way. And secondly, talking about CSKA, you know, they were very supportive. We were really happy because they said, okay, even though we were in similar situation, but we believe as shareholders that the league has to continue, and they were fully supportive, and that's why, again, Maccabi and all the clubs were thankful for their support.
So, Mr. Motiejunas, talking about CSKA, how does the future for Russian teams look like?
Again, at the moment, it's difficult, but obviously, you know, we all know that and hope that the war will be over. And as soon as the situation is stable, they are shareholders, they are, you know, part of the league. And as soon as everything's, again, it's an interesting phrase, but we keep saying that everything goes back to normal as it used to be, and it's safe, and it's everybody can travel, they can travel easy, you know, then they will be back in EuroLeague. That's the situation right now. So,
of course, one day the Russian teams will be back. We hope so, with the peace and everything. And in the future, I believe there are some expansion talks in the EuroLeague. Of course, maybe you in the meeting you talked about it also, because Dubai is always on the table. And let's begin with Dubai talks. What is going on right there? Because if there's an expansion, I believe with the reports in the EuroLeague media and all over Europe, Dubai, there's a team from Dubai to enter the EuroLeague. But how is your opinion about it?
Again, expansion, I know there's a lot of in the media, but we're not talking about expansion right now. It's secondary issue. But Dubai, yes, we're in talks with Dubai. I was there when we had the first trip with the 13 clubs to visit them. Now we're in talks with Mr. Abdullah, who's the representative from Dubai team. And it's a negotiation process. You know, it's an interesting market. We're willing to analyze it. We're ready to make a presentation for the clubs once everything's finished, and we will decide. But again, obviously, the Middle East market, it's something that the NBA is looking at, football is looking at, all the sports are looking at this market. So EuroLeague is not an exception.
But there's not a team that assembled right there, right? Because their plan, I believe, to make a team and enter to a competition of EuroLeague. How is their approach? I want to know about their mentality, because there's a new, very nice gym right there with the people, I believe, interested in basketball. How did you see, you know, the general mood of Dubai?
Again, we as a league, we care about the product. So, like you said, they have a great arena, they have wonderful hotels, they have a wonderful city, so they can host the teams in a top-notch level and organize the games at the top level. So, of course, and then on the other side, there's a market that, you know, we would unlock. So, of course, we're really interested, and their approach is the same way. You know, they know that they can help the league grow, and they're willing to be involved. They're ready to help. Both in organizing the games, looking for the sponsorship and everything. So again, it's a great partnership opportunity, but again, we need to analyze all the things.
Because I read a report yesterday that even Novak Djokovic's brother and family involved in these situations. Is it true that, you know, Djokovic is also interested in this kind of thing?
Again, it's a kind of product that everybody would be interested to involve and to contribute. So we are happy that we get this attention.
It's a good market, yes. So, Mr. Motiejunas, speaking of expansion, of course, I want to ask you about one more report also about Paris team joining EuroLeague next year. In the France media, there were talks about Paris joining to EuroLeague next year. Of course, London is on the table. Yesterday, there's a great match between Paris and London, 2 overtimes in Eurocup. How do you look into this situation?
Again, like I said, we're not going into expansion right now. We're not thinking about it for next season. Obviously, London and Paris are key markets, so we've always been talking about it, that this is a great opportunity for EuroLeague to step in there, but we think it's not mature yet. So I'm really happy that both teams, both markets have teams in Eurocup, and it's the first step to play EuroLeague. Again, this media saying that Paris will be in a wildcard owner for EuroLeague next year, it's not true. If they win Eurocup, they can be in EuroLeague, obviously, because that's a stepping stone. But at the moment, again, it's a false information. We are analyzing the market. We're watching how the team is performing. We're supporting them to play Eurocup as all the other teams. We love this competition, but the talks about the wildcard, it's not true.
So next year, I understand that there's no expansion for next year.
No, there's no plans to expand for next year.
But if there is an expansion, I'm talking about hypothetical things right now, but if there's an expansion, will there be a new format to run the EuroLeague?
No, we love the format. Round robin system, I think that's the great accelerator for the league to grow when we changed it. And when we talk with the clubs, all of us agree that we will not go back to different groups playing different teams. Everybody wants to play everybody. And I think this is the key for success for the EuroLeague, the system. So we're not planning to change it.
Oh, great. Happy to hear that. Mr. Motiejunas, of course, you've been talking with FIBA during this process, and in the national team windows, there will not be a EuroLeague game, so there's a solution right there. How has the talks been going? Because next year, I believe, 2 windows in the national teams part. So how is the talks going with the FIBA?
I would maybe start that it's not easy because there haven't been talks for quite some time. So the start is always not easy. But the more we get into it, the easier it gets. And again, we as a league, we care about the sport of basketball. And this is what we want to grow. We want the sport of basketball to grow wherever it is. However, if it's national teams, if it's clubs, we're always for it. So I would say we're making small progress. We are talking about the calendar. We are talking about the business of basketball. We have a meeting next week, and we will continue to sit at the table. I think it's important to be able to sit, open up the cards, which again, it's not easy because of the history, but open up the cards and help each other. So we as a league, we hope that we can find synergies with FIBA, for them to help us, for us to help them. And I think this window option for February is the first step forward. But again, we are still testing ourselves and hoping that we can all be on the same page to grow the game of basketball.
There were some talks about Basketball Champions League and Eurocup could unite in the future. Is there something like that you and the shareholders think something like that?
Again, we run the Eurocup and we love the competition and we believe in the competition. So we think that it can evolve and improve. We changed the calendar this year, we changed the system this year, and we think it brings more spectators, brings more popularity. So we love our product. But again, when we talk about the second-tier competition in general, again, this is one part that we open to talk and we need to discuss if we look at the side of improving the game of basketball. So again, I will not lie, it's one of the subjects that we talk about. But for us as a league, Eurocup is the key competition and it's a second-tier competition.
Let's go to business side of the EuroLeague. Of course, you are now the CEO after 1 year tenure with Marshall Glickman. What do you need to do, to get more revenues, to, change what's going on in EuroLeague? What needs to be done in terms of the business side of the EuroLeague?
Again, I don't have a magic wand to say let's do this and now the money will come. It's step by step. Yeah. It's a normal process. We have a lot of people working in the league. They all contribute, to the development. The clubs want to see the development, and obviously me as a CEO, now I'm trying to analyze, where we can grow, who's contributing most, what are the low-hanging fruits, and stuff like that. It's of course, again, I believe in this game. I love this game. I think it's the greatest competition on the planet, on the competitive side. So we have a great product on the court. We need to get as much as possible off the court. So there's many things to improve. There's many things to do better and to do in a new way. So again, but I don't have a magic wand saying, okay, let's do this, this, and this. We will learn, and we will do it together with the staff, and I hope we will continue to progress.
But you did great things in Žalgiris, of course, building a team that's competitive all those years, great arena, always full with great supporters. When you look at that aspect and the other clubs in the EuroLeague, I believe you have some advices to give to other clubs, or maybe you are talking about the marketing parts. Just looking at, as a playing side, what is the first advice that you can give to the clubs or the organization to, make the gym better place, or the, clubs to with the lower budgets can also be competitive?
Again, I come from the market and from the city where basketball is number one.
Yeah.
So I wish it was the same everywhere.
Yeah.
And now the reality that I face, that it's not like that. So again, I'm not the guy to give advices. I'm interested to discuss. I'm interested to see what can be done. So of course in Žalgiris we always shared what we know. Everybody was welcome to come experience and learn from us. And I think again we in Žalgiris also learn from other clubs, other sports and other leagues, and this is the key. Again, me as a CEO in EuroLeague now, I wanna poison clubs with the idea that we can do things better. And again, the only key takeaway is to have the arena, and to have a good arena, and to worry about how to get the people enjoy the game, not only on the court but off the court, because again, there's a lot of business there. There's a lot of not only ticket sales, but catering, merchandise. There's so many things that the clubs can get extra revenues. And again, manage the budget that we don't lose the money. But again, I cannot say that the clubs are not doing this. Everybody's doing it in their own way. Let's see if we can make it go up 10%, 20%, and that will be a success.
Mr. Motiejunas, how is the situation with the Turkish Airlines? Is your name sponsor for all those years, but is there a new talks with the new contract, or there's a contract ongoing? I don't know about that situation, but how is the relationships with Turkish Airlines going?
It's a great relationship. We are very happy of this main sponsor that we have. It's a huge success, especially for us, and we are extremely happy. We have 2 more years remaining with them, and we will continue to talk. We will start the conversations that they have not started yet, but I have a planned visit to go meet them and start discussing. But we always in communication, and again, let's see, maybe it turns out for another 10 years, wonderful partnership.
Great. How about the Final Four possibility in Istanbul? Because, the next year, I believe there's no city that comes to public right now. But always there's expectations in Istanbul. You did it in St. Adam. It was a great Final Four. And there's always an expectation in the Asian side, in Fenerbahçe's gym, Ülker Arena. How is that looking for you in the EuroLeague?
Again, if you take the city and the country, it's a great place to organize the Final Four. Hence, we had a couple of them already here, and we would always be interested in hosting it in Turkey again. And Istanbul is a great city, no matter which side you take. It's easy to organize this kind of event because people know how to do it. There's great hotels, everything's perfect. But for the next year, sadly, there's no interest shown from municipality, from the government. So we cannot announce the winner for the bid of 25. We hope to do it soon, but again, sorry to disappoint, but
there's no interest from
Istanbul
side.
Yeah, it's not on the list.
It's the interest must come from the municipality, right? Not from just clubs. It's enough to get the Final Four.
Obviously, there's a fee that has to be paid, and the clubs
can
help. I mean, they can help putting in touch with the government, but.
The all budget with the clubs cannot,
No, it's again, the club doesn't make the money out of the competition. It's more focused on the fans coming in, on the revenues that they bring into the city. So that's why we always want the governments to be involved, because touristic part of the competition helps to boost the economy of the city.
So we were talking with Alper Yılmaz and Derya Yanyer about EuroLeague's future, and this is something that interests me. That salary cap thing was talking in these meetings. Is this something that in the future the EuroLeague may come to life the salary cap thing?
We're talking about fair play regulations. So it's different name and different structure. Of course, it's more about control of spending the money on the players. But again, this is what the league has been doing for last, I don't know, 10 years. We're trying to control how much the owners and the ownership spend. We're trying to put that number down. And again, the key is to make the club sustainable. We want to have a business side in the clubs. And then the league is stronger if everybody is spending as much as they're making and not, not burning cash like we keep saying. So this is, I think, one of the key stepping stones for us to get the clubs involved. We have done not one but couple of rounds talking, explaining the system. The system is already created, so I think it's only a matter of time when it will be approved. Again, it will take time for it to work in a perfect sequence and to get the control that we want. But I think it's inevitable, and we will approve it, and the clubs are for it.
Could you give us some details about the salary cap? How is that going to be? Is it like going to be in the NBA or something different for you?
Again, it's a fair play regulations, so it's going to be different. But again, the key is to control the spending and to put the cap on how much money we spend on the players, the club spend on the players. I will not go into many details because we could spend an hour talking about it. So it's not an easy process, but once it's implemented, it's easy to control, and it involves star players, involves young players. There's a cap, there's different regulations. So it's not a copy paste from NBA. You cannot copy paste NBA, but it's something that our staff did a great job with to do the regulations. We ran it through the clubs, like I said, and we managed to find I would say a middle ground where the clubs are happy and we're achieving what we want.
In the last part, Mr. Motiejunas, I want to talk about NCAA's NIL, name, image, and likeness, deals with the players that goes there and study and play and now earn money. Do you think it's a threat for European basketball? And if it's a threat, what do you need to do to secure the clubs that raises players?
Again, I don't know if it's a threat. The goal of the league is to have the best players. And again, I'm coming from the system in Žalgiris where we focused a lot on the youth players. And as much as you want them to go through your system, they can go through whatever system they want. And if it's NCAA, if it's locally, if it's Australia, that's also popular. If they develop as players and they come and play EuroLeague, we are fine. I mean, again, we have many examples of great players that don't get a chance to play EuroLeague because of the level of the competition. So, again, talking with my basketball club hat on, we were always trying to get the best talent to develop in EuroLeague. But if you develop talent, you cannot focus so much on the sporting results. And this league is always about competitiveness, and every game matters. That's the key. So you kind of have to choose. So, of course, again, we have to find a balance, how it would be motivating to grow young players, because that's the key. We have great examples in football that wherever they go, the club who invested a lot of money in the young kid get the money back. I think it would be a great system if we can make it work. But again, at the end, no matter how the system works, if the players come from NBA like we have each year, or if they go and after NCAA will come back directly to EuroLeague, that's as long as they develop, and we have a great product. I think that's the key.
Is there a way to protect the clubs, as you mentioned, like in the football, if a club raises a player?
At the moment, no.
No.
Again, at the moment, no. We wanna discuss this. We wanna talk about this, and again, for this, we obviously need help of FIBA, and we need to find this system. Like I said, we have good examples, so it's not that we're creating a wheel, but again, at the moment, it's quite difficult.
You are talking with FIBA, of course. Are they aware of this
Again, it's something that's on the table. Because you ask it, it's popular question. Again, I'm not saying we are fine talks about this, but again, when you sit at the table and you discuss basketball, you always obviously talk about this because we care about European market. We care about this market, and again, the competition outside Europe is getting stronger, so we have to adjust as well.
And that's a question of mine as a fan, as a basketball fan, as a EuroLeague fan, of course. And we are getting this a lot during our commentaries and broadcasting games. They are asking us too much. The time of the games, you know, sometimes very good games clash each other because of the time. Of course, we are talking about all Europe, and every team in their country want to play in that time. But is there a way to, you know, separate some games from each other to, you know, so that basketball fans can watch every game?
I had the same question most of the time. Again, it's difficult to find the balance.
Yeah.
Because on the club side, you want to have a best time for the fans to come in.
Yeah.
And then you have TVs who want to broadcast the games as well. So it's difficult to manage. Again, I'm glad we have this problem because you want to see all the games. That's what EuroLeague is about.
Yeah.
And again, let's take it step by step. Let's hope we can get that. But it's impossible to have all the 9 games in 2 days in different times. But again, it's something that I would love to have, at least the derbies and you know the high intensity games to be able to watch both of them.
Yeah, because you know every game matters.
Of course, of course.
Mr. Motiejunas, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
I hope all the things that you know we talked about will be solved in a good way, so we can see this product in a very better places. Thank you very much, Mr. Motiejunas. EuroLeague CEO'su Paulius Motiejūnas'la röportajımız böyleydi. Bir sonraki röportajımızda görüşene dek hoşça kalın.